Today, I'd like to suggest 3 ideas that you can apply if you find yourself in that repetitive cycle of rinse and repeat, fail, start again, fail, start again. It's going to take 3 mind shift changes, and if you're ready to get on board, here we go. The 3 things that I'd like to suggest that you try if you find yourself getting stuck is cultivate a desire to see problems as projects. Also, cultivate the feeling that retreat is not an option. And thirdly, cultivate the will to tell your inner saboteur just to STFU. These 3 mind shift changes are going to treat you very well if you cultivate them properly. So let's go through them one by one. The problem that people may face is that they see a challenge or an issue as a personal affront. They turn it into a why me moment. Why is this happening to me? Well, there may be a very good reason this is happening to you. And the reason it's happening to you may be that it is an opportunity for you to develop a new project and to formulate a new way of tackling the problems that you face. When something happens which is causing difficulty for you, I would suggest that the best way for you to deal with it is to see it as an opportunity to face the challenge. And of course, this requires a certain amount of will, a certain amount of willpower, but willpower alone isn't going to fix it for you. So let's lose the idea of willpower and start to replace it with a sensibility around cultivating systems, developing systems that you can use in order to get better results. Treat the problems as data and cultivate systems which are going to draw from that data and give you the solutions that you require to push through. So the first thing you need to do is to stop being so emotional about the problems you face. Instead of treating them as a reason to have a pity party, treat them as an opportunity to learn and treat them as an opportunity to face a new project or a new challenge. Turn horrible into the wonderful. Make lemonade from lemons. So then to number 2, the second mind shift change that I'd like to suggest is going to assist you to push through the valley of despair, otherwise known as the nexus of learning. Next thing you need to do is you've got to cultivate a strength within yourself, and you've got to cultivate the notion that retreat is not an option. The opposite of retreat is advance, of course, but we don't just advance into the full firepower, whatever fate is waiting to throw at us. We plan. Break down your next 10 moves. Break it down into daily, weekly, or monthly challenges and tasks. Break it down into signposted and achievable goals. Break it down in such a way that you can start to marshal time in your favor rather than simply being swept along on the river of time. So develop that will. Develop that willpower and that desire to see this opportunity and this challenge and this project as something from which retreat is not an option. So the third mind shift change that I'd like to suggest that you employ, if you want to push through this nexus of learning and climb back out of the despair and into success, you need to disengage from your inner bitch. You need to quell the whiny, disregard, negative. Get into a situation whereby you can tell whether the messages that you're sending to yourself are positive or negative. Break it down. Work out where those messages first came from. Lance the boil. Put out the fire. Disregard the inner bitch, that negative, self-sabotaging voice which is telling you that you cannot do this. Instead of asking, how can I do this? Start asking, how will it feel when I do this? Instead of thinking that success that you deserve is something that happens to other people, start thinking in terms of what you are going to do, what your next step will be when you achieve success that you're aiming for. Instead of just rolling over and lamenting your fate, start to see that every day is an opportunity to make a bigger and better decision, and that every day is an opportunity for you to facilitate change. Draw from the data. Treat the problems and the challenges in the project as a source of data which you can act upon, instead of just thinking that life is something that happens to you. Start thinking in terms of life which is happening for you. Ask yourself, how can I capitalize on this very small amount of time that life has given me? It'll soon be over, son. It'll soon be all gone. And the opportunities that you fail to grasp and the negative self-talk you refuse to crush, and that insecurity which suggests that success is something other people deserve but you don't, all of those things will pass away, and they will be pointless, and they will be just so much of a waste of time and energy. So instead of cruising through your days, lamenting your fate, welcome the days and use them as an opportunity to gain the upper hand over a fate which may not have been serving you very well so far. So let's just recap on those three elements of mental change that are required. Firstly, you've got to cultivate a desire to see challenges as projects. Secondly, you've got to understand that retreat is not an option. And thirdly, you've got to develop the will and the strength to tell your inner bitch to shut the. And once you've adopted those three mental shifts, those mindset changes, you're going to put yourself in a much better position to go forward into your project, cultivate your desires and cultivate your outcomes in a strategic manner, instead of simply retreating and going back to square one and coming up with another shiny object. This time, when you find yourself in that crucible and that nexus of learning, this time, take a strategic look. Use the data. Don't take it personally. Put the emotions to one side. Crush the inner bitch and go forward with a good heart.